Welcome back to chemistry. We're balancing equations, just like we've been for the last few days. And today we're going to do a special kind of equation. This is combustion. And combustion is what we like to call fire, and you guys know all about fire, right? And so when we have something that's combusting or that is on fire, it has to react with oxygen. So this is going to be, in this case today, it's going to be a hydrocarbon, which would be a fuel. Like this first one's methane, but gasoline, diesel fuel, kerosene, coal, they're all hydrocarbons. And they're going to react with oxygen, and they're going to form only two products this time: carbon dioxide and water vapor. And that's it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to balance these out. And of course, Mr. Arnold has a shortcut that makes things a little bit easier. So let's see what happens when we follow these little rules. And of course, I made these up, and they seem a little simple, but they help us do it correctly. So the first thing we want to do, number one, is we're going to double the amount of fuel. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a 2 in front of the CH's. Okay, and what that's going to do is going to help us fix a problem that can occur later in the problem. And that would be our oxygen. Because if we have oxygen, it starts off as diatomic, it's O2. And then if we look to the other side of the equation, you noticed that the O2 has split apart. Oops, let's go down here a little bit farther. Has split apart into two compounds, right? And that makes an issue, right? So we're gonna do this method here to solve that as the first problem. And the second thing we're going to solve by doing this is that since oxygen is diatomic, when we come back to balance it, if we double the original amount, we'll end up with a nice even number, and we need an even number to fit in O2. It's easier to say than to do. Okay, here we go. 2. Oops, let's change that. 2. Balance the C's first, right? We're staying away from the oxygens because it splits apart. So balance the C's first. 3. Balance the H's. All right, again, we're staying away from the oxygen. Finally, step 4. Add up the O's on the right side. All right. And finally, balance the O's. All right. Kind of weird little rules here just to help us out. Once you see me start doing these, hopefully it makes it work out. Okay. Now, I have one more rule I didn't put on there, and I need to put that on there. And that is step 6, reduce. So if these can be reduced after we're done, and some of them will because of the way I'm doing this, reduce it at the end. All right. There are other ways to do this. This is just something that I've done through the years to get rid of problems and make it easier, make it all the same, because we like things that are the same. All right, I'll quit talking and start balancing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 2 in front of the fuel. All right, and that's C2H6, so that would be ethane. You don't have to know that, okay? And now our next step was to balance the C's first. Okay, now, so I have 2 times 2, which would be 4 C's. So I'm going to put a 4 in front of that carbon dioxide right there. All right, now, normally we go to the partner, but we're not doing it. We're staying away from those oxygens. Because if we change O on one side, it's going to mess things up later. So let's do our H's. We have 2 times 6, which is 12. And 6 times 2 is 12. Okay? Now, time to count up these O's. We have 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 6 times 1, which is 6, we have 14. All right. Oops, let me drop my picture down here a little bit. Here's what I just wrote. We have 8, which is 4 times 2, and then we have 6 times 1, which is 14, right? And so we have 14 oxygens on the right. We need 14 on the left. So 7 times 2 is 14. And that is not able to be reduced, right? 2, 7, 4, 6. So it's good to go. All right. Let's try one more thing here. I'll do one more. Let's do the first one. Now, this first one probably doesn't need reduced, and so that'll be a good, or it probably does. We wouldn't have to do this method all the way through, but I'll show you how quick it goes. 2 in front of the C's, that gives me 2 C's. I have 8 H's, 4 times 2 is 8. This is 4 plus 4 equals 8. So I need a 4 in front of this, and then look at my numbers. 2, 4, 2, 4. Let's reduce that down. And when I mean reduce it down like we do a math fraction, where this would be, come here, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. The way is a little bit longer on some of the problems like that, but it is the same and it works every single time. And that's what I like. All right. Have a great day. Wait, before I say that, let me skim down here. Okay. Yep, you're good. And take it easy. This should be a quick, easy assignment compared to yesterday's. So it'll give you time to get both done. I'm out of here. Peace out.